All right. Welcome to North Sun Tabletop Games, and today we are going to enter the first domain of Ker Nethalas. We created a character in our last video, so we're going to try to do a playthrough of this pen and paper dungeon crawler in this dark necropolis. So this is not a rules channel. We'll do the best that we can. If we make any mistakes, feel free to throw some corrections into the comments, but here we go. So we created our character, Evelyn Attila, last time, and we wake up in the necropolis after a failed execution on a corpse pile. So let's see what that first room is that we wake up on. So we've got our little room chart here. We'll roll a D100 and we'll see what room we get. That is 68. All right, 68 is an odd shaped little room. We'll go ahead and sketch that out here. We just over here do a little sketch 68. So we'll start here. It's like a square with a little tunnel at the end. Doesn't have to be too perfect. 2 exits. That's where we're starting. And when you start the domain, the first thing you want to see is what overseer is ruling over this domain. So a creature rules over each of the domains. This is a D10 roll. Let's see what the overseer is. An 8. There is an Infernal Archon that rules over this place. So Infernal Archon. So let's go ahead. We'll go to our character sheet. Overseer. It's going to be Infernal Archon. And if we find it today, when we find it, we'll read about it. And then let's see what the influence is over the dungeon. All right, so the influence is a D10 on the D10 quick reference chart. So in this domain, a 10 piercing gains the penetrating trait. Okay, so all monsters in this dungeon are piercing. Okay, let's see if we can find out what piercing means for the traits of the monsters. Let's see. Piercing, penetrating. The creature's attacks ignore an amount of armor points equal to the X value. So every creature in here is going to ignore 1 armor. That's lovely. Ignore 1 armor. All right. So we land in the corpse pile. An Infernal Archon rules over this area. Let's go ahead and make our tension die roll. So tension die starts with a D8. And that basically means if we roll a 1 or a 2, it goes down to a D6 and then a D4. When it gets down to a D4, you roll a 1 or a 2, something bad happens. So we got a 3. So nothing's going to happen. Then we'll roll the lair domain exit die, which is a D12. Same thing. When this gets down to a D4 and you roll a 1 or a 2, we found the overseer. 3, so nothing happens. It stays at a D12. All right, so next, let's find out if there is anything in this room. So we are in the room. We're going to subtract 1 light source. So we have a torch and a morning star for our equipment. We've got rigid leather armor on our chest that we rolled up last turn. So we check off a light source. The torch will last 20 rooms. So we check one of those off as we pull ourselves off of the corpse pile. And when you are in a room, you roll an encounter check with a d20. If it's a 10 or higher, there's an encounter. Otherwise, there's an event. So let's find out if there is anything in this room. D20, 10 or higher, a 4. So there is not an encounter in this room. There is just an event. Okay, so let's go to the event table. It's going to be a D100 roll. And we'll see what event is in this room. Right, let's see here. Let me put this up. Let's see what we get. 57. In front of you, a terrible statue depicting what must have been a member of the Valorian nobility appears to intensely stare at you, judging your worthiness. You feel repulsed by it instantly. If you accept its judgment, you must pass a resolve check. If you do so, you are rewarded. Roll twice on the spoils table. If you decide to bash the statue, you can remove the effects of a single active event. All right, so do we want spoils or do we want... Our resolve is only 20. So I think Emmeline, she's going to smash the statue. So we'll bash the statue. Oh, there aren't any active events right now. Yeah, this is not the next active event. This is if something's currently in place. Is there anything negative for not passing it? No, I don't see anything negative. I'm assuming if we don't pass the resolve check, we take 1 sanity damage. It doesn't say that though, so let's just go with it. If anybody knows in the comments what we should have done, we'll see. We're gonna try to do the resolve check, so we have to get less than a 20 to pass. 29, close but no cigar. So we did not pass, so we don't get anything. And based on that, we're gonna move on. So we are going to try to head out of this room. There's 2 doors. So let's first try to go to the right, and we'll see if there's a door, if the door is locked. So for a door check, you roll a d20. 12 plus is closed. Less than that, it is open. It is closed. Now we need to see if it's trapped. On a 7 or higher. Actually, I'm just going to put a C here. It's closed. Let's check the other door in the other direction first. 12 or higher, it's closed. Yep, they are both locked. Okay, so we are trapped in this room. Let's see if the door to the right has a trap on it. 7 or higher, it's trapped. There is no trap. Then we'll try to open the door. We don't have any thieves tools. So that means we have to try to bash down the door. So we're gonna have to roll a 10 or less. And since we don't have any lockpicks or thieves tools, we have to roll a 10 or less to open the door. That is not a success. So when you're trying to bash the door down, you make a lot of noise. And I believe we have to make a roll with the tension die. Let me just find doors real quick. I'm pretty sure we have to do that, and then we can try again. Combat, healing, companions, light source, doors and containers, 104. So we'll just go over to page 104 real quick just to confirm. All right, page 104. Okay, the door is locked. Can't do that. It's not trapped. No lock picks. In order to successfully break the door or container, you must pass an athletics check. So I rolled the wrong thing. It's athletics, which our athletics is only 10. We made a lot of noise, so then we have to do a tension die check. And each failed attempt increases athletics by 20. All right, so our first turn, we bang on the door, we fail. We have to make a tension die roll. So our tension die is still a D8. We're trying not to roll a 1 or a 2. So let's see what we get. 7, we're fine. We'll try to bash the door down again. This time, Emily rams her shoulder into the door. She needs to get a 30 or less. 46, she doesn't get it. Makes even more noise. Tension die, and the tension die is a 1. So that means it goes from a D8 to a D6. She will try to bash the door down again. This time, adding 20 more to it, so 50 or less. All right, a 2. Fantastic. She bashes the door down, and we go stumbling into the next room. So let's roll and see what that room looks like. 70. All right, 70 is an odd looking room. It looks like, you can see that, but 70 is right there. So it's almost like a pitchfork T-shaped room. We'll probably turn it sideways and we'll do our best to sketch that out. Let's go back to the map, see. All right, so we're gonna turn that room sideways. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exits. So we'll say there's a long hallway here. And then it goes up here, down like so, down like so. Something like this. All right, and then there's doors here, here, so multiple ways to get out. Okay, and then what you can optionally do for flavor is roll on the room description table, and that's what we're gonna do. All right, room description. Let's see what this room looks like in the inside. Again, no game effect, but flavor is fun. So we will roll that up. $82. This room has a well on a corner, but the water within it is clearly tainted with an eerie glow. Okay. There's a little well in here that has an eerie glow. No game effect, but just add some flavor to it. All right, so now let's roll our D20 to see if there's an encounter in the room. Remember, no. Tension check. So when you go into the room, you have to do the tension check and the lair check. So we made a lot of noise, so we're only rolling a D6. If we don't roll a 1 or a 2, it goes down to a D4. 5, we're fine. Lair check, are we getting closer to the overseer? We are not. 6, okay. Our light source then goes down by 1. So we will scratch that light source off. And then let's see what horrors await us in this room. If there's a 12 or a higher, we get an encounter. No, 10 or higher. 17, so there is an encounter in this room. That means we have to do a combat encounter. So we are going to roll on the combat encounter table. 1 through 3 is table A, 4 through 6 is table B. 6 is table B, and then that is a D20 roll. Let's see what. 18, a vorleg. So let's get ready for our first combat. Will Emmeline survive her encounter with the vorleg. Okay. The reptilian form of vorlegs is sleek and well adapted to its dark and damp habitat. His scales glistening with an oily sheen that reflects the pale moonlight. The vorleg's beady eyes gleam with intelligence, and its sharp fangs are ever ready to deliver a venomous bite. What is truly dangerous about vorlegs, though, is their multiple tentacles that cover its back, which they can use to strike with uncanny precision, and it snare its prey in a vice-like grip. The tentacles are lined with barbed hooks and secrete a paralyzing toxin, rendering victims helpless as the creature moves in for the kill. The vorleg is a master of ambush, its tentacles striking from the shadows and dragging its prey into the darkness. Okay, it's an animal. There's one of them. Its awareness is 60. Endurance and athletics are 40. It's got 5 health. It's got armor all over its body with an armor reduction of 1, combat skill of 30, magic resistance of 30. It's got penetrating 1, which means it has penetrating 2 because of the overseer, and it's alert and venomous. So let's look up alert and venomous. I'm pretty sure alert means it can't be surprised. Alert, the creature cannot be surprised in any way. Venomous, when damaged by this creature, you must pass an endurance check or receive the poisoned condition. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so we will see if we get poisoned. Let's see, damage type. So we'll have to make an endurance check or be poisoned. And I'm just looking through the quick summary notes here. I'll try to put a link to where you can find these on BGG. Somebody posted a lot of the help aids on the forum. A poisoned character receives a specified amount of damage every round until the condition is removed or resisted. It is assumed that the poison takes hold when first used, but as a free action, a poison character can attempt to resist its effect during their turn by passing an endurance check. This is a cumulative condition, so while initially it will seem harmless, you must treat the damage received as a damage roll. So if the poison damage is 3, that means the victim suffers 1 damage per the damage dealt table. It can slowly become a real threat. Okay, so poison, resist it with the endurance roll. All right. So this vorleg reptile is going to come out and attack us. It has awareness of 60. That's kind of high. Our stealth is only 15, so I don't think we're going to try to surprise attack it. So we'll roll initiative. So it's going to be our perception, which is 50, versus the creature's awareness, which is 60. So the red dice will be for the vorleg. The black dice will be for Emmeline, the Abyssal Reaver Duskblade. And she's got a Morningstar Mace with powerful, so it does +1 damage. And we'll see. So in this game, you're trying to, so for initiative, whoever rolls closest to their skill level or under without going over is a success. If both people fail, the person with the highest skill goes first. So we'll see how this goes. 89 for the vorleg, 96 for us. And we don't have any special skills that let us do anything around that. So we both failed the roll. The vorleg awareness is higher than our perception, so it's going to go first. So it is going to attack us with a combat skill of 30. When you're handling the creatures, they have a d6 table down here, so we will roll the d6 and see what it does. 4. It's going to use its ensnaring tentacles. It unfurls its tentacles and lashes out at a target, dealing d6 bludgeoning damage on a hit. Additionally, if the attack hits, the target must succeed on an athletics check or be grappled by the vorleg's tentacles, becoming entangled. Yikes. All right, so let's see if it hits. So it's trying to get under a 30, and we are trying to get under a 60. Oh, I'm sorry. On the attacker's turn, they get +10. So it's trying to get under 40, and we're trying to get under 60. 44, it just missed, and we got 94. So that is 2 fails, but our skill is higher, so we won't take any damage. All right, then it's our turn. We are going to attack. Our bludgeoning weapon skill is 60. We get plus 10 to that to make it 70. We don't have any magical bonuses. We might do our Abyssal Reaver Infernal Flame Fist attack. The Infernal Flame attack, I didn't write down how much Aether it costs us to do that. So let's look up Abyssal Reaver real quick and see if we want to do our Infernal Flame Tier 1 attack. That's magical. It would automatically hit and they'd have to roll under a 30 and it would ignore armor. So Infernal Flame, it costs 4 Aether. Your fist bursts into green-red flames as you send a burst of fire to your target, dealing d6 plus d4 infernal damage. So Infernal Flame, we'll put a 4 here. Let's go ahead and use that. So we've got 10 Aether. That'll take us down to 6. We can do this twice, basically. So we'll try the Infernal Flame attack. It's going to use its magical resistance score, which was 30. So if it rolls under 30, there's no effect. Otherwise, we get to roll damage. 32. Okay, so I need it under 30. We hit it with the Infernal Flame. We get to roll a d6 and a d4 for damage. So what you do is there is a damage chart. Do I have the damage chart handy? Give me 1 second here. So we'll roll a d6 and a d4 for damage. We got a 4 and a 1. A 1 on the d4 and a 4. So then you look at the damage chart. So if it's a 1, it does no damage. 2 to 4 is 1 damage. 5 to 7 is 2 damage. 8 to 9 is 3 damage. And 10 plus is 4. So you don't add up these two numbers. Even though we're rolling a d6, you don't add those up to be 5. They each do a damage on the damage table. So the 4 is going to do 1 damage to it. And the 1 won't do anything. So not a great roll for us. The armor reflects most of the damage, but it does take 1 damage. So the vorleg has 4 life left now. And I probably need like a die or something to represent. Okay, it's got 4 life left. All right, so that's our turn as the attacker. We'll go back to the vorleg, so it'll try to hit us. Maybe. Let's roll the d6 and see what it does. A 3. Yep, ensnaring tentacles again. So those tentacles lash out at us again. It needs a 40 or less. We need a 60 or less. 92 for it, which is a fail. 19 for us is a success. And when you succeed on your defense and the enemy fails and you roll below your attack or parry value or dodge, for us it's below our 60 for bludgeoning weapon, you get a special defensive move. So let me find the defensive move chart. It's a d10 roll. We'll get a little bit of a bonus. Defensive move. So let's roll a d10 and see what we get. A 7. You gain advantage on your next attack. All right. So advantage means when we roll the two d10s, we can swap the number. So if we rolled a 53, we can make it a 35. Or if we rolled a 13, we can make it a 31. So that's what advantage does. All right. So we dodge the tentacles once again. It's back to our turn. Now the question is, do we want to do Infernal Flame one more time, or do we just want to hit it? Let's go ahead and just try to hit him with our Morning Star since we have advantage on this attack. So we're trying to get under a 70. We get plus 10 because we're the aggressor. And the vorleg reptilian beast needs under a 30. So 48 for it. 35 for us. We could make it a 53, but either way, we are successful. So we get to roll d6 damage. And then we also have to roll the hit location. So the vorleg is a quadruped. So a hit location is a d20 table. So we'll roll the d20 and then we'll roll the d6 and we'll see where we hit it and how much we hit it for. Now, its weakness is its head, so if we hit it in its head, that'll do double damage. Wow, the ones are really killing us. So 2, we hit it in its right hind leg. 1 is 0 damage on the damage dealt table. We get +1 damage because of the Morning Star, but it blocks 1 damage because it has armor all over its body. That did not do anything. All right. Back to the beast. 3, that's tentacles. So attacking us again. It needs under a 40. It's got 47. It's barely missing us. We've got a 68. So it's 2 fails, but ours is higher, so we don't take any damage. We will attack it back. I think we're gonna burn 4 more Aether. We've only got 2 left, and try to hit it with our fists again. So we'll do Infernal Fists. If it rolls under 30, no effect. It's gonna try to resist it. 55, it does not resist. We'll roll our damage, our d6 and the d4. Well, let's get some good damage in this time. A 1 and a 3. A 1 is nothing. A 3 is 1 damage. So it takes 1 more damage from the Flaming Fist. That's 3. And I wonder, am I supposed to roll hit location for that? I'm not sure. Let me roll hit location just to make sure I'm not getting a critical. 7 for quadruped is in the hindquarters. So we hit it in the hindquarters with the Flaming Fist as it's dashing around us. That does not do critical damage, so no extra damage there. Speaking of criticals, to get a critical, you have to roll doubles. So like 11, 22, 33, 44, 55. Any doubles are critical if it's below your skill. Any doubles in combat are fumbles if it's above your skill. So I have to try to watch out for that. It's a little hard to see the critical. So back to the creature's turn. It gets +10, so it's looking for 40. 22, that is a hit in 70, but well, I'll keep that number. I forgot to roll to see what it's gonna do. It's gonna do the tentacle grab. So it finally hits us with the tentacles. It does d6 bludgeoning damage on a hit. Okay, then we have to succeed on an athletics check. So let's see, d6 bludgeoning damage, and let's see where it hits us. 14 and 3. So a 3 is 1 damage, and a 14 for us. So it hits us in the left arm. Our rigid armor just covers our torso, so we don't get to reduce the damage by 2. So we are going to take 1 damage. That's going to reduce our toughness from 13 to 12 as the tentacle lashes out and hits us. Then we have to succeed on an athletics check or we become grappled. Our athletics is only 10. We do not succeed, so we become grappled. Let me try to find the grappled condition. Let's see, grappled. Oh, entangled. The afflicted is wrapped in something that restricts their movement. They are incapable of moving, and any actions that imply movement suffer a -20 penalty. In their turn, the entangled character can attempt an athletics check in order to remove this condition. This is a free action. Okay, but the character can choose to spend a standard action instead to receive +20 to their athletics check. Okay. Any actions that imply movement suffer -20. So I'm gonna assume trying to hit it with the Morning Star implies some movement to run up to it or whatever. So that will give me a -20 to my roll unless I try to get out of it. Okay. All right, so we are entangled. We took damage. It's our turn to attack. So normally we would need a 70, so we'll go down to needing a 50 because we're entangled. And he needs a 30. And we'll try to hit him with the Morning Star. All right, I got a 91. That is a fail. They got a 36. That is a fail for them. Since we both failed, my combat score is still higher than theirs, so that'll be a hit. And they'll take D6 damage, and we'll see where we hit them. Wow, I am rolling really low. So that's no damage. It would have been 4. No, oh no, that's the low hit location. Hold on. The hit location for the quadruped on a 2, the right hind leg, and 4 on the damage chart is 2 damage. Plus it's a powerful blow, so that'll be 3 damage. Minus his armor, so it takes 2 damage. And it has 1 life left. So I bash the Morning Star into the leg, and one of its leg crumples as it's broken. Creature hisses at me, and now it's about to attack again. So let's see what it does. Again, it's going to throw the tentacles at me. I'm already entangled. Let's see if it hits. It needs a 40. It got 14, 68. That is a hit. D6 damage. 6. So I am going to take 2 damage. Let's see where it hits me. 3 in the right leg. All right, so the tentacles wrap around my leg and start squeezing me to give bludgeoning damage. I take 2 damage. That's going to take me down to 10 toughness. Once your toughness is like light wounds, scratches, things you can recover from. Your health is major wounds, so 10 toughness left. I am still entangled, so I won't make the athletics check, and then we will come back to me. All right, so I will attack it. Still entangled, so instead of a 70, I need a 50. I got a 67. 51 is above its combat score. We both fail, but I have the highest combat skill, so that'll be a hit. We'll do D6 damage with the Morning Star, and let's see where we hit him. Finally, a good damage roll. So 5 is 2 damage. That'll be 3 damage, and the vorleg is dead. We hit it. The final blow was in the 4 quarters. So Emmeline swings that mace around, catches it right underneath its head where the chest is, and the vorleg flies into the corner wall and crumples into a heap. And we have survived. Okay. So when you go into a room, when you open a closed door, you get 10 XP. You get 50 XP for an encounter. So right now we got 10 XP when we were back in this room originally. And then 50 XP for killing the vorleg. So we got 10 XP and 50 XP. You need 1,000, I believe, to level up. You get 200 XP for killing the overseer. And I think, and 50 XP for entering a new domain. Okay, so this says once you kill this creature, you do the spoils table. So let's go to the spoils table and see what we found. That is a D6 roll. A 6 on the spoils table is roll on the precious items table. Okay. Let's find the precious items table. Precious items. Where is that? Magic items, random weapons, magic item generation, fragment. Okay, loot and spoil. Okay, precious items. That is a D20 roll. If it's 1 through 15, it's a magic item. 16 through 20, it's a relic. Oh, so this thing was protected. Something good. We got a 5, which is a magic item. Okay, so where is the magic item table? Magic item. Random weapon, full suit, shield, magic item generation. Okay, magic item. So we're gonna roll a D8. Let's get the D8 out and see what kind of item it is. 4 boots. Okay, so we found magic boots. Magic. When you first find a magic item, you must roll on the item table to determine which type of item it is. Only after you spent an attunement crystal to learn about its property can you proceed to learn more about it using the tables in this section. Okay, so right now we just found magic boots and we don't know what they do. So let's go ahead and mark that down as part of our gear. We've got magic boots. So we'll just write magic boots. We need an attunement crystal to see. We'll just put a question mark there so we don't forget that we don't know what that is. Okay. So we have done that. Now let's see what happens at the end of combat. All right. Turns and rounds, initiative and surprise. Okay, we did that. At the end, combat sequence, hit location, dealing damage. We did that. Damage type, armor. Okay. I don't see it. Give me 1 second. I know that you do something at the end of combat. We can heal for like a certain amount. Reaction, turns and rounds, combat. Okay, combat actions. Hit location and damage, targeting body parts, critical strike. Combat example, things to remember, shields pro, healing and death. Wow, why can't I find that? I am really surprised that that is so tough to find. I have seen it in this book somewhere before. After combat. Enemies, enemy types, damage dealt, damage type. Let's see if any of these quick reference sheets over here say anything about combat. Okay, recover 1d4 toughness. I think I got this from, I think Lone Adventure YouTube channel has this sheet that he put together. It's really good. Feel free to check out his channel. He has a playthrough as well. But yeah, it has post successful, recover 1d4 toughness. So let's roll a d4. See how much toughness we get. So recover 3 toughness, check armor integrity. We did not get hit in the chest. Check for spoils and gain 50 XP. Okay, so the only thing we didn't do was recover 1d4 toughness. So we rolled a 3. So Emmeline, toughness will go from, let's see, 10 back up to 13. Now, when you're in a room, you can attempt to scavenge. Once per room, so we'll go ahead and try to scavenge while we're in here. Our scavenge skill is 30, so we'd have to roll at 30 or less. 87, that is not successful. We don't scavenge anything. Okay. So now that Emmeline has caught her breath after killing this fearsome vorleg, we'll do a time check All right. Do we want to explore one more room? I think let's explore one more room. So let's see if these doors are locked. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors. So we'll check this first door up here. And the door check, let's see, doors and containers. I think if it's a 12 or higher, it is locked, if I am recollecting. So we'll roll, see if we get, just drop my die. Die go. 3, so it is not locked. All right, so this door is open. Let's check this door. That door is open. So both north doors are open. Let's see. Or a little compass up there in the corner. These two are open. Fire door is locked. So we'll put a little L there. Actually, I'll just gray it in to denote that it's locked. And then the doors to the south, open. The other door to the south, locked. So this door is locked. All right, so let's check out one more room. So let's head up north up here. Since the door is unlocked, and we'll roll this room up. See what we get. That is 96. 96. Okay, so that is a dead end room that kind of looks like, almost looks like a bubble or a lamp. So we will draw this room out. Okay. And then let's see what the description of this room is. $99. $99. An unnatural wind seems to be constantly coming out of this room, violently flapping your clothes and gear around you. Okay, so there's like gusts of wind that are like blowing through this room. And then we'll roll a d20 and see if we have an encounter. If it is a 10 or higher, we do have an encounter. A 3. So that means there is no encounter in this room, but there is an event. So we will roll a d100 and see what the event is. 56. As you step into this chamber, you are trapped in reverie. You see your own death clear as day, and a wave of anguish assaults you. You must pass a resolve check or lose d6 sanity. But the next time your health reaches 0, you can ignore the source of damage instead. Okay. All right, so let's see. A resolve check. Our resolve is 20, so we have to roll under 20. 21. Wow, you have got to be kidding me. So we fail that. That means we take d6 damage to sanity. And just like regular combat damage, you look at the damage table based on what you roll. Of course, I roll high for myself. So 6, so 2 sanity damage. So our sanity goes down from 9 to 7. And I put this on Aether. Our Aether is supposed to be 13. After combat, your Aether goes back up to max level. So our Aether goes back up to 10 for those 2 spells we cast. We lose 2 sanity. And we slowly back out of the room. Okay. So we need to remove another light source. That's 3. And then we can backtrack. Oh, I forgot. We have to roll tension die and layer check. So let me do that. So the tension die is at a d6. Let's see if something bad happens. 5, we're okay. Layer check is at a d12. This one we want to get the 1 or 2 so we can get closer to the overseer. And we do not. All right, so then we are going to backtrack. We're going to backtrack into this room. We will have to remove another light source. I don't think we have to do a layer check when we backtrack. I don't think you do. I don't think we have to do a layer check when we backtrack. I'm gonna assume we don't for this playthrough, but in the next one, if I find that we do, then I'll retroactively do it. So since this encounter was pretty quick, let's go into one more room. We'll go over here into this other opening up north and see what room is there. All right, so let's roll our D100 for the room. 74. Okay, that is kind of a diamond shape. 74 is like this diamond shaped room. There's a small entrance, we'll say comes over here. It does have an exit. Rooms are not built to scale. Don't worry about that. All right, so that is the second room. And we will eliminate a light source as we go into this room. Then we're gonna do our room description roll. Funsies, 29. The remains of a once grand spire lie in ruin, a monument to a forgotten hero of the Valorian ascendancy. All right, so there's a spire ruin in here. Just put spire ruins. Okay. Then we are gonna do our tension check. Things getting dangerous. 3, not yet. Layer check. Are we getting closer to the overseer? Nope, not at all. We reduce the light source. Do we have an encounter? 11. That is an encounter. All right, then we will roll on the encounter table. We will see what's in here, and then I think that's where we will conclude. All right. Combat encounter, D6. 4, we are on table B. And then that is a D20 roll. 19, a wraith skull. So there is a wraith skull in this room. Let's look at the description of the wraith skull. These fragile yet terrifying entities hover through the air, defying the laws of gravity, tethered to the mortal realm only by dark magic. Its disembodied presence is a chilling reminder of its unholy origins, as it seeks to feed upon the life force of the living to sustain its spectral existence. When it moves, an eerie whispering echoes through the air, a haunting symphony that strikes fear into all who hear it. Legends speak of fallen Valorian necromancers, executed due to their ambition and condemned to serve as guards in the endless halls of the necropolis. All right, well, stay tuned for the next adventure. We will see how Ker Nethalas does against this wraith skull when we return. The Abyssal Reaver Duskblade, she's in pretty good shape. Hasn't taken too much damage as we keep exploring and trying to find our way out of Ker Nethalas. Hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if I messed something up. Again, it's casual playthrough, just trying to have fun here. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.